What's going on, everybody? It is Luke here. I'm going to bring you a really important video today, and it's all going to be talking about why do people undercut or lower their prices and basically bring down the price on listings on Amazon for online arbitrage, where obviously there's more than one seller and you're obviously competing for the buy box. When a product is selling well at a price and it's been selling well at that price for a while, why then some people go £1, £2 underneath? And obviously, and then that then leads to sort of a price war over time. And for me, this is a really important topic because you always find that so many people that are starting off, maybe they're in their first year of selling on Amazon, they always bring up the questions on the groups, like, why is this person bring down the price? Why is he doing that? And there's literally so many reasons why people do that. Like I just wrote down in 5 minutes 9 reasons why this would happen, and I'm going to go over a few examples of why and how, and there's benefits to even doing it. It increases the overall output of your business over time. So let's start, and I'll start going over them, and then I'll go through the example right here. So to start with, there is a massive difference between full-time and part-time, like selling, online on Amazon. So part-time people that sell on Amazon, they're happy to hold out and increase their profits because their outgoings, or the amount that they need to actually get the profit-wise, is relatively low. It may only be £200 a month. They may have some subscriptions, some softwares like Keeper and stuff like that, but only maybe like £100 or £200, and maybe they pay for some boxes and stuff. So they make £700 profit. Which is relatively it is very easy to do that. They can hold out, make a couple of sales here and there. Don't worry about a lot of it. And they can even reinvest 500, 200 or 100 or whatever. But then there's full-time sellers. Well, maybe they have staff. They've got to pay themselves a salary. Well, that means they already have to make profit 3, 4, 5,000 a month just to break even, just to literally have nothing extra. Where the part-time guy's already ahead with a couple of £100 profit, but that full-time guy's got to make £5,000, then he's making profit. So he's obviously got to do more sales. Potentially take lower margins but sell more volume, and obviously he needs to get that money in and out as fast as he can to maybe put in £1 but get it in and out 8 times, rather than a part-time guy is happy to put it in once, get it out once in the month, but he doubles his money, or he makes 60%. Where if you do volume, you can take down the price. You can bring it to 30%, 25, 28, I don't know, whatever the profit that you're happy with. So that is straight away is a very important reason why people do this. Next thing, storage fees. Storage fees all the time now, but it may find that you bought some products, but they're not selling as well as you thought. You have too many, or it's just tied up, and you feel like it's a waste. You could be better using that money to buy some toys for Q4 or something. And I'll always, if I find that I've done that, which happens now and then, Keeper might not show me what I think should show me. I buy too many, and the storage fees obviously come up as well, and that's going to eat into the overall. I'll just, potentially bring down my price to 20%, even to break even, just to get rid of it, because, even if the buy box is currently higher priced, because bring down the price, more people are probably likely to buy it, probably improves the rank. And I don't even care that I break even, because it happens all the time. If you're selling 400, 500 different lines of products, 5 to 10 of those lines will be that. You might even lose money, but who cares? Because it's the bigger picture. How much profit do you make in a year? Well, who cares if you lost 500 when you make 50 grand? It's as simple as that. And that leads into cash flow. If you've got stuff tied up and you think 50 units tied up in stock, and you're like, well, I'm doing 5 a month sales, what's the point having all your money tied up in something that is going to take you so long to get back out? When I could just use that money now, and I could buy, a Buzz Lightyear, and it will sell in a day, and I make £5 on it, and then I can buy another Buzz Lightyear day after, and then 3 days later I'll have enough money to buy, enough profit from that to buy 2, and then you keep doing that over the month, and it's easy. And it's stagnant stock, same sort of thing. If you've got stock that's sort of been sitting there too long, maybe it is in the buy box, but it's just not selling very many. Bring the price down. You might be happy to take 10%, 5%, break-even percent. Break-even percent? Interesting one there. Opportunity costs. This is really important. So, we're in Q4 now. Toys, obviously, are going to start increasing exponentially with the amount that they're selling. It might be 5x, 10x, 20x, depending on the rank and the product. Disney at the moment, they've got like Frozen 2, Toy Story 4. So, you know, that's very much in the mind of the children at the moment, and they're probably going to be buying a lot of those. You know, anything that's been out in films, obviously anything that's good for kids. And so why have it tied up in baked beans or something that's going to sell $5 a month, but you want to sell 50 a month of like another item that, you know, just get rid of your baked beans, like clear out the stock. You know, obviously I've done this well in advance, so I've done this in October, selling a lot of my replenishables and my sort of non-seasonal products that, you know, like some haggis and stuff. I mean, who, yeah, exactly. Just because I know that I can use that, you know, that money can be best utilized to make more profits over the Q4 period, just investing in solely like a very finite selection of toys, maybe like 50 lines or something. So that's really important too. Price point. Now this is where this example comes into it. So you can see here, it's selling at £12. Now I don't sell this product, but I'm selling a similar product, which is, I didn't want to obviously show the product I'm selling because people could go and buy it. And then I'd be really screwed. But, you know, this is a very similar product. So it's lint. So it's a slightly luxury advent calendar, you know, but it's still an advent calendar. And obviously we only have till next weekend to basically sell them. And I have 40 of something, and it's selling a couple a day or a couple every few days. And I'm like, well, that's not really enough for me. I don't really want to be tied up with this. So, but let's just do some, you know, rough equations. So if it's selling at $4.99, I buy it for $4.99, say, just put in a random price, making 47%. Now, if you look down here, you know, this is selling, obviously that's going to be non-seasonal, but it's selling well. Now, Amazon's selling, can't even see what the name is. Yeah, Amazon there, but this is just my example because I'm selling products similar. So I'm not, so, you know, this is a good example though. Well, let's zoom in here. At £12, it's doing, you know, it's ranked 12. Why would you ever bring down that price? If you know, so that Amazon sell out or something. Well, let's say I've got 40. Well, I have to sell these pretty quickly. I don't want to be losing £4.50 per unit and have 30 or 40 left. That's like hundreds of pounds. And then what you're going to do with them after they expire before like next September or something? That's the purposely built like that. So you buy another one. But you know, what are you going to do with them? Nothing. So really, as it gets closer to next week, you would want to be bringing down this price, you know, all the way down potentially to your break-even point, because the lower the price, probably the more sales it's going to get. You know, if you're selling something at £2, well, a lot of people will buy it. Something at £20, well, probably not many people are going to buy it. And you would think, well, it's at 12 ranking. Why would you even bother? Like that's amazing anyway. Well, let's say you had 200 of this unit, because, you know, as I said, full-time and part-time are different. So full-timers might buy a couple of hundred of these units. I mean, for me to buy 100, 200 units is not anything unusual. I think I have like many 200. I've got 200 units of a lot of stock at the moment for Christmas. I can buy 50 to 100, you know, random items like, you know, advent calendars, just a couple of clicks, it's done. Like, it's very like limited thinking that goes on my behalf. Definitely over this period, and you know, considering the ranks and stuff. So the one I'm selling is a couple of 700 or something rank advent calendar. Well, you know, why would I move it? Okay, so let's just zoom in here. This is a great example. So this is selling at £12 here, which is what it's selling for now. You can see here, you know, 16. The average rank is about, what, 20? Goes down to 14, but then it goes up to 26. So about 20. Well, look, at one time it was at 10. Okay, so it's lower. Now look, it's rank 5. That's like 3.5 times more sales, or 3.5. You know, obviously you can't see the sales, but it's 3.5 times better in rank, which means it should have an impact in sales. Okay, well, let's have a look. Let's just do the calculations and see if it's even worth doing that. Let's put 10. Okay, well, it's still saying 32%, 150. Well, to me, I always want to take 30%. Well, actually, as time goes on, I'm willing to take less and less ROI or profit, because I don't want to be left with these. Because you're not only lose, you know, you're not. Let's say you brought it down to, I don't know, $7.99. Like that. You know, you're basically breaking even on this price here, $8.09. You think, well, why would you break even? You can sell it at £12 and make like a couple of quid profit until maybe next Wednesday, Thursday. But I have 40, so maybe I want to try that on 20. I want to get rid of 20 now at my break-even price. And obviously, this is something you set in your reprice, so it may never go down to that. It may not need to. But it's just giving the opportunity for the system to allow some sales so that I'm not left with this, because you're not just losing that profit, you're losing £4.50 per unit that you have left. So you're actually gaining. If it gets to next Friday and you've got 30 of these, you could be losing, if you've got 30 of these, 30, you could be losing £135 if it got to Monday and then you can't sell any. So by breaking even, you're gaining £135 back. I know it doesn't, you might not look at it as like that, but otherwise you're going to be losing it. So the net difference is going to be a positive 135, isn't it? So you really need to be aware of that. So that is the reason that I could bring something down, and let's say it was selling at 10 at that price. Well, I would even say I'm going to just bring it down another penny. Now people say don't penny under reprice. Well, there's no profit difference, so there's no problem there. And that brings me on to another point, psychology. Anything under a £10 is seen as an impulse buy. I learned this in business back in the day. I mean, who knows if it's correct or not, but I learned it. And people will very much see £9.99 and anything below £10 as an impulse buy. Of course, if it's a paperclip, no one's going to pay it, but it's an advent calendar. People are willing to pay more because it's a little bit more of like a luxury product. It's a special product. You don't have it once a year, mindset-wise. And it's a little bit more of a luxury advent calendar. It's lint, yeah? Not, some sort of standard Cadbury. So it's not, you can't just, always go and get these from every single shop that you go into. Maybe the Cadbury's and the Milky Bar ones are always going to be selling everywhere because they're just cheap and easy. These, a little bit more luxury. So £9.99 once a year, of course, is seen as that, just click a couple of buttons and it's done. It comes tomorrow. Delivered. No problem. Don't have to go down to the shop. And that's why I would potentially bring this down to £9.99 right now, even if it was selling at this price. Of course, if it's selling a lot, and you can tell, if you're selling 5 a day, well, you just do 5, and you see how many days you have until obviously, next week is next Saturday. Is that the last day of the month? And then with your 30 or 40 units, cover those 5 a day, of course. Would it? Whatever it is. But if you can clearly see, and obviously as we get closer to next week, it should do more in sales. But that's say you've got 100 of these and it's selling 5 a day. Well, you don't know if you're going to be left with any. So I would, in my opinion, would be like, I don't want to lose that 135 quid, that sort of example I gave. I'd rather get out half of it now, and I can then use that £100, £200, whatever I get out, to buy some toys, which is, then that's in the system by next Monday, Tuesday, and that could sell and make profit. So the profit that I'm losing from here, I'm just basically shifting, and it's selling something on Tuesday that I bought, today or tomorrow or Monday or whatever, get it in the day after, selling Thursday, Friday. So I'm making profit. I'm just moving where that profit's coming from the sort of, the sort of like the back end of the 40, so the 20 at the back, I'm taking out, and I'm already making profit on them, but it just looks like another product because it is. But the profit is still coming from these products, yeah? The 20, and then another, obviously worst case, you're left with all of them, and then you're screwed. You've lost loads of money anyway, and you have to pick out and cry because you've just lost £200 on advent calendars, and you're obviously going to be eating all these. Giving away at Christmas, maybe you want to do that, something stuck in or something. But so there's many reasons, and this is just a great reason why you would do it. And of course, this is very seasonal, so it's very specific. But you will find that there are products that are around like £10.99. I wish I could find an example, but it's not as easy as that sometimes. Let's just see if we can find one right off the bat. It may not work. If not, I'll just still go over the example. So we just want to find something that's very close. Fortunately, I may not be able to. This actually may work. If it doesn't, I'm not going to, carry on. But you'll find sometimes like these sort of things may be at the price of £10.99 at some point. So that's to say, let's just see if it actually works. It may not actually do anything. So let's just put £10.99 and you pay for 5. That's £4.50 or something. Something about reasonable. 32. If you bring it to £9.99, let's see if it does it. Yeah, beautiful example. Here we go. So you might be thinking, okay, well, this is not only a seasonal item and doing bloody well. And you're thinking, well, why would you crash the price another £1? Like people are selling at this, they're seeing it at this price. Obviously, I'm VAT registered, so it's slightly different between non-VAT people. And you would see here that lowering the prices. This is another point. It doesn't necessarily just increase in sales because you want to turn over that cash. You're going to, obviously, if you're a full-time seller, you've got to get a minimum of a turn per month, or per month, to pay your salary, to pay staff, to pay warehouse, whatever you're doing. Which means you have to maybe take a little bit less money, but you can sell more because you are taking less. Yeah. And overall, that creates more profit than selling 1 or 2. You can sell 10. I'd rather sell 10 at £1 profit than 2 at £2 profit. Yeah. And you can see here it's at $10.99, and I'll be like, straight off the bat, I'm going to crash that price another £1. Of course, one, psychologically, it's under the £10 barrier. Perfect. One tick. Ka-ching! Yeah. I like the sound effects. Yeah. It's under the £10. It looks cleaner. It's going to then generate more sales. The rank will improve, which will give it more visibility on the Amazon website. Look, and also, obviously, you saw it a second ago, but $10.99, $1.46 profit. $9.99, £1.48 profit. Boom, more profit. You're making more money. You're not only making more sales. You're not just undercutting the price, and probably you're going to have that buy box for like a day before anyone else realizes, because most people are just stupid or something. I can't go below $10.99. Well, just try it on the, try it. It's very simple. Until you try it, you never know if it's going to work. That's what I say with anything. And then, of course, it's making more profit. And what else? And what would you not crash the price? I've done a video on this before, and it still winds me up when I see people, posting why are people doing this. And the circumstances on not all the products are not always going to be the same. This is just an example of there are many variables that come into play when someone makes that decision. And of course, and another reason is that some people accidentally set that price, because I've done it before. I'll add to catalog a product, and I'll add the price wrong on the price at the beginning. And another thing you can do is when you resend in a product and you go to, what is it, like replenish the product or whatever it is, that price that's set, that you may have set a year ago because you bought it a year ago and you're piggybacking on the same listing, that price may actually be well lower, that it's currently set at, well lower than what it currently is. It might have gone up. And your repricer may not be like the max on your repricer may not be high enough to actually get to where the buy box is now. So it's going to obviously force your price to your max price, but it still could be undercutting everyone. And that happens. It happens with me a year later, 2 years later, on the listings that you sell. And obviously it takes a day or two, let's say a day, for people to actually go, oh crap, my price is well below. And this is where people then go, look, why is this person undercutting? Well, they're not doing it because they're like, I want to get a sale and make 3p profit. It does happen. I'm pretty sure it probably happens at some point. But there is I could probably come up with 20 reasons which are completely different to each other why this could happen. And many times it's not what you think, and you see it a lot. And I just want to bring a video out to really go over I know it looks like certain things on the surface, but underneath there are so many things that go on. There's so many dynamics with it that come into play when selling on Amazon. And this is just like a typical. Well, these are all typical examples of exactly what I've sometimes done. The way that I would look at something when I make a decision, and when I would or would not make that decision and actually go through with it and do it. And I know many people say don't bring the price down, don't bring the price. But actually, why wouldn't you bring the price down? You'd be a fool with this example not to. Not only because you make more money, it's seasonal, you make more sales, make more profit. Yeah, I don't know. I can keep, I'll keep going on. So don't take everything you hear with as the Bible, because there's exceptions, and there's many exceptions. This is I found ton. I go through loads. I just play around with it. You really want to get in depth with what you're doing and really refine the process, because a lot of people will just go, my min's 30. Well, it says it's $10.99 at 30, but they never actually look to see, well, if I bring it down, maybe if you don't even make any more money, you lose about 5p, but will that increase your sales twofold? If you increase your sales twofold, 5p offset on profit will actually make you more profit over the month, because you have twofold in sales, yeah? And if it's an item that you can keep getting your hands on, buy more, then why wouldn't you do that? And see that, this is another one I came up with. So I'm going to leave it there. Nice 20-minute video. and hopefully you've got some insight into just how I see it. And yes, there's not the way I see it. It's not always the correct way. It's just how I do it, and that's me. And everyone, there's always going to be people that say this way, this way, this way, and they're not, they're not always going to agree. But this is just how I see it, and hopefully for some of you, it just gives you a little bit of like okay, nice to know what other people think about it as well. Gonna leave it there. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.